We're slap bang in the middle of a thrilling season finale. Today we bring you the second Sports Direct FAI Cup semi-final, Drogheda United versus Wexford. And then two of the clubs among those fighting for supremacy in the Premier Division, Shamrock Rovers and Shelbourne, meet here at Tallaght Stadium. And with me, two lively lads who would have relished this sort of run-in during their playing days, Alan Cawley and Gareth McGlynn. We're on air till 8 o'clock, but time is of the essence right now, Gareth. So first of all, Premier Division versus First Division, and with Drogheda having home advantage, does that make them clear favourites in this cup semi?
It makes them favourites, but it's not a foregone conclusion. There's no doubt about it. Wexford have scored 10 goals. They've only conceded 1 in this FAI Cup. They're a young team. It's really important that the manager gets his tactic right from the beginning. They've got to quieten the crowd. I was there last week and they played Derry. Drogheda were very good and the crowd played a massive part. So if he can keep it solid maybe for an hour, 45 minutes, get through the first half, and then they've got enough youth and attack and prowess to cause them problems. OK, a huge day for Wexford as a football club, Alan. They're right in contention for the promotion playoff in the First Division. And they have a chance of making an FAI Cup final. Huge day for them. Yeah, massive day. James Kelly's done a really good job since he's gone in, Peter, and as you say, bang in contention for the playoffs. But this is a huge day and a tough task against Drogheda. I agree with Gareth to a point, but the goals they scored have been junior teams on the run and they've been lucky and fortunate with the draw. You still have to beat the teams that you're faced against, but I just think with the form that Drogheda are in at the moment, it's unbelievable form, Peter. When you think of their last 11 games, they've won 7, drawn 3 and lost 1, whereas the previous 10 they had lost 7 and drawn 3. So Kevin has transformed things, turned them round. The two boys up front are red hot form at the moment as well, so I think it's just too big of an ask for Wexford. OK, well, Derry City are already through to the FAI Cup final, which takes place on November 10th at the Aviva Stadium. Who will join them? On commentary for us at Weavers Park this afternoon, Des Curran and Graham Gartland.
Thank you, Peter. Good afternoon, everyone. Weavers Park very much in readiness. An unexpected semi-final pairing, perhaps, but that only serves to make this all the more intriguing. The 2005 winners, Drogheda United, and Wexford, who weren't even a League of Ireland entity back then. A Premier Division versus First Division battle to decide who will walk out alongside Derry City at the Aviva on November 10th to contest this year's Sports Direct FAI Cup final. Magnificent atmosphere, a full house, and this is the Drogheda team to start. Kevin Doherty's consistent selections have laid a borne fruit. The summer window arrivals, Dennison, Ahui, Bolger, Farrell and James Taylor have all made significant impacts. Franz Piero's winning brace against Derry took him to 12 goals in his debut season, and his partnership with James Taylor, 11 goals and 13 appearances himself, is key to Drogheda's cup ambitions. Captain Gary Deegan, who missed 9 games with a groin problem, has been unable to work his way back into the starting 11. Such has been the form of Kevin Doherty's side. That is our team of match officials, led by Damien McGrath, assisted by Owen Hart and David Connolly. Fourth official today is Kevin O'Sullivan. Wexford starting 11 with an average age of just 22, and a huge day in particular for that defence. 3 lone players in the back 4, 21-year-old Divine Ismala from Bowes, 19-year-olds Lewis Temple from Shells and Sean McHale from Pats. They join the long throw specialist Cian O'Malley in that defence. The experience mostly comes at the top end with the local boys, Aaron Dobbs and Mikey Rowe, who together with Thomas Alua have combined for 37 goals this season. Aaron Dobbs and Ryan Brennan, the captains, the coin toss completed. An incredible atmosphere. We're looking across the travelling Wexford support, Graham, on the far side. That is packed out, and down below us an incredible noise. All the pageantry that goes with it as well. The confetti has ended up with us up here. Such has been the excitement around this fixture, and a real positive feeling from both clubs coming into it.
Yeah, it seems like they're both looking forward to it. Drogheda know they have home advantage, they know they're the Premier Division team, and they know they're in good form. So it's on, the onus is on them to go and book a place in the final. Wexford have come here, nothing to lose and everything to gain, really. they can go and cement their place in an FAI Cup final from absolutely nowhere.
Kevin Doherty has really got a tune out of this settled Drogheda side over the last 3 months or so. Between League and Cup, it's just 1 defeat and 11. A run stretching from the Derby Cup win here against Dundalk to the last out league win against title-chasing Derry. For Wexford, well, for even the most ardent supporter, this a day that was hardly on the radar at the start of the year. But now that it's arrived, it's one to be embraced. James Keddy's bright young things with this chance, as you said, to make a huge statement here. A draw that's been kind to this point, but now do the First Division's sole survivors have enough to create another moment of history? Final checks from Damien McGrath. It will be Wexford in their yellow kit playing from right to left in this first half who will get us underway. A young side, but if they can get this right today and seize the occasion, then who knows what they could produce. James Keddy said his main job this week to ensure this side aren't overawed by the occasion or sapped of energy come kick-off time here, to go back into that dressing room full time knowing you left everything out there.
That's what it's about. Give yourselves a go. You'll have no regrets then. It's when you come in and think we didn't really perform, or we didn't put in enough effort, or we didn't implement a game plan. They're the ones you regret. Like you said, it's that thing that James Keddy's looking for. Is can you put in a performance and see where it takes us? We can discuss it afterwards.
Throw in here for Conor Kane, who missed out for Shells in 22 after that awful injury at Oriel Park. Back enjoying his football now at Drogheda, and a problem here for Ryan Brennan.
Looks like he just tries to swing on it as it's coming down out of the air, and it's Aaron Dobbs that comes back just trying to nick it off his toe. Brennan's clever, he doesn't really follow through on it, but it's still a free kick.
You look at that Wexford selection defensively. And Sean McHale, the 19-year-old from Meath, who's on loan for Pat, selected at left back rather than centre half, and Divine Isamala played a lot of his football in his career at centre half, playing right back. They need to match Drogheda United physically in these situations. And it's Isamala who was climbing. In front of him was O'Malley. Now Alua, Markey. That scampering style of his, held up by McHale. Crossing chance for Farrell. Didn't quite get the whip on it that he needed.
Well, you're right, the four centre-backs are going to have to compete. To me, it's about how do Wexford handle the front two of Drogheda, and how can Wexford get their front three into the game and cause damage as well. Both front threes are very experienced and scored a lot of goals this season, but it's about how you go up against them.
You won't find many opposition players or sides who would profess a love of coming to play here at Weavers Park, and that's evidenced in Drogheda's home record this season, just 3 defeats. Unbeaten here since the loss to Shamrock Rovers back in May. But here is Mikey Rowe. Big addition this season with the club legend Danny Furlong, finishing up last season. Dennison gets it away. Douglas James Taylor. Markey looking to read it. Look on from Corbally, who closes down Brennan quickly. Good technical young midfielder, Cian Corbally. Won leagues all the way up through the underage ranks with St. Pat's. We'll be hoping he can have an influence here.
Looks like he's probably going to sit in beside Lovic and try and control the game, and Livingston looks like he's going to be the one closer to Dobbs.
Launched by Conor Walsh, the 19-year-old from Westport. The town that gave us Conor O'Malley in terms of goalkeepers as well. Started the season on loan at Finn Harps from Sligo Rovers. Now in at Wexford. James Keddy, a 17-year playing career, 3 league titles, including one with Drogheda in 07. At a time when Drogheda, talking to him during the week, he said, and you were there, 22, 23 senior players. If you had an off day, you mightn't see action again for 6 weeks, he was saying.
Yeah. Didn't have many, but yeah, James was a brilliant pro for us when he came into the dressing room in 06. We were all young sort of players, hungry to try and win stuff, and he had come in with vast experience. It probably calmed us down a little bit, gave us belief, and he could handle Paul as well, which helped.
Well, he played with Paul Doolan at Derry and at Shell, so that would have certainly helped, I'm sure. What a time that was for Drogheda, what a squad that was. This side going really, really well at the moment, Drogheda. Long throw in for the first time today from O'Malley. And wait till he get one, one's further down the pitch. It'll be a real threat to launch it into that penalty area.
Yeah, it does look like it's Livingston that's going to try and run beyond Dobbs. That's twice now that Dobbs has gone up for headers, and it's Livingston the one that's trying to make the ground up. So obviously Keddy believes that he has the legs to do it, but that's the one. See them long kicks and long sort of crosses into the box. Wexford have to get forced contact on them, and once they get forced contact on, it's up to Corbally and Lovich to get the seconds and get round the ball.
Technically good as well, Dara Livingston, brother of Connor. That long throw allows that defence to step out as well when they have the throw in their own half. Here's the busy Alua, who's had a terrific campaign. Needed more on that to find McKay. Alahoui back for his second spell, having started here last season. The arrow goes to ground, picked up by Farrell, who nudges it into the corner. 3 in the penalty area here for Piero. Douglas James Taylor goes beyond him. Conor Kane winding one up, charged down by Isamala. Wexford looking for the big switch across to Alua. You wouldn't necessarily call, I guess, Alua and Mikey Rowe out and out wingers, maybe centre forwards playing wide and coming in, and that's why maybe they've got the goals tally they have this season.
Yeah, they're not afraid to go straight into them as well at times. I was talking to a couple of players before the game, and they're saying he can mix it up well and that he can play through Corbally, but if they need to, they can bypass him and go straight in. Dobbs is actually surprisingly good in the air for someone who's...
Oh, and Mikey Rowe takes it on. There's a link up between those two. Dobbs with the flick on Rowe, as we said, in off that side to get involved, and got his shot away.
Yeah, Des, you called it just before it. Dobbs can actually put himself on Quinn and maybe win a bit more headers, because Quinn wouldn't be as physical as Webster and Bolger out at M3, and then it's up to Rowe to maybe cut in from that side and support them.
Mikey Rowe was at Cove last season when he was part of the Cove side that beat Wexford in the playoffs. From just outside New Ross, he's in Wexford colours now. Livingston, athletic, energetic, looking to pick a pass here. Webster got there ahead of Dobbs, and now Rowe. Isamala slips it in towards Corbally, who's into the challenge with Farrell, and that's going to earn him a talking to.
Yeah, Livingston again is just bringing that sort of power to them to try and get them up the pitch. It's not bad fouls from Corbally, because he knows they're probably caught out a little bit.
Drogheda began with that big derby win against Dundalk. 2-1 here, Bolger and Warren Davis the goal scorers, then 9-0 against Wilton of the Munster Senior League, and quarter-final 4-1 in Athlone. Wexford winning away to Wayside and Ballyfermot before an outstanding first-half performance against Treaty United. Conor Kane tried to fashion a cross under pressure from Isamala, and that runs through to Conor Walsh.
That'll be a good battle between them two, because Kane's been excellent since the summer especially. He was brilliant in Tala the night he played. I think he ends up setting up James Taylor for his goal.
Decent touch inside from Corbally. Rowe just skips off his head through to Dennison. Goals for Mikey Rowe this season. Dobbs has 9, Alua 15. Certainly feel they've got a goal or two in them today. Said the big question, can they handle? And James Taylor at the other end.
That's where Lovich probably needs to screen in front a little bit more, so it's not bouncing into Pero. He needs to get there. He needs to get down the line of the ball and make sure he's cutting out the supply to him, so he's not able to back in and get free kicks like that. Disengage with Markey. You can beat Markey in the air if it falls short, but they're trying to get into the front too. You need to screen it a little bit more.
Now this is a fair distance out. Shane Farrell is standing over at Conor Kane there as well. Farrell, who started that 22 final for Shells against Derry.
Not sure do you need that. Did he need that many in the wall there? Is it going to be shot? No, it looks like they're able to match up at the far side.
It's a sizable wall, as you can see. Farrell clips it, looking to go around the back, and there's contact between Dobbs and Webster.
Small things like that, they probably don't need as many in the wall. You can tell by Farrell's run up, he's not looking to take a shot. just pull one of them out and stick them in the hole, and then they're a little bit safer. I know it doesn't come to anything.
Dobbs did well there, one of the most experienced here, despite the fact he's still only 25. Came through at Moyne Rangers. And you were the one who got him to put pen to paper at Shamrock Rovers, you were telling me.
Yeah, myself and Shane Robinson went down there in Escorty and signed him, and he was now at St. Joseph's. And he ended up being like the top goal scorer in the under-17, the first ever under-17 National League. He was brilliant. They couldn't handle him, but he was just an out-and-out goal scorer. And it's great to see him push on and obviously have the career he's having.
O'Malley winding it up again. Over the head of Livingston, away by Bulger, and he's gaining ground here, O'Malley. And if they can get him a towel maybe to dry the ball, he might get an extra bit on it again.
He was one of the flags over there by the Wexford crowd.
You can see straight away when he's in an area like this, Issamala's up from the back, McHale is up from the back. Here we go. To run at this one, plenty of distance as well, well attacked by Ryan Brennan. And Levinson's touch just deserts him that time.
Yeah, it was brilliant from Brennan. He steps back and then comes on and heads it away. But it is a weapon, and especially here, how tight the ground is.
And looking for Douglas James Taylor.
10 minutes in, it hasn't really settled. It's been a very bitty scraps, second balls, but nobody's really put their foot in it, made consecutive passes just to take the sting out of it. You'd expect Drogheda to try and do that and take control of the game.
Samala up early, good header to Alua. And now a little bit of time for Sean McHale. Play Leinster Senior Cup for Pats at the start of the season. Dobbs realising he's offside. Here is Markey. Piero showing for him. O'Malley stepping off, but Hui gets ahead of Piero. Lovic has been muscled off it, but unfairly so in the eyes of Damien McGrath.
He's tracked it really well, Lovic, from midfield. It's a Hui that's coming onto it from obviously right wing back. The two of them have a come together, and then he probably just goes a little bit too strong on it, where it becomes like a push off with his arm.
Cup focus today, but a big league run in for both as well. Drogheda looking to reel in Bohemians and avoid that playoff spot. If they can't, then they might yet run into Wexford again, who knows. Wexford, 8 wins in 10 coming here as they look to continue this cup fairy tale and make an impact in the playoffs. Excellent work from Alua. He's away from Quinn, good ball in as well. And the best moment of the game in an attacking sense so far, and Thomas Alua, no surprise, involved in it at the other end. James Taylor, Lovic and Issamala trying to get to him. Tidied up by McHale as James Taylor just couldn't slip in Piero.
It's coming to life a little bit. It's brilliant from Alua. It's a little nutmeg, and then that's a great ball in, really inviting for someone to come onto it. You see, it's Dobbs that wins the header, and Alua runs onto it. He just nutmegs Quinn here. That's a great ball across. That's flashed right across the front. You're surprised someone like Rowe hasn't got on the end of it.
Drogheda narrowed in again, so McHale, who's been caught there by Hui, who slid in. It wasn't overly aggressive, but it was mistimed. Free kick now for Wexford, and a chance to put some pressure on the goal of Luke Dennison again.
It's his trailing leg that catches him, actually. But if Alua's like that, he can be erratic at times, but when he turns it on and goes, he's a handful and he's dangerous. Because he's so unpredictable, at times it's hard to defend against him.
Mikey Rowe has come across to take this. And McHale getting acquainted again around that back post. Warbley steps over. Big men making moves around the back, including O'Malley. They've isolated him well. And it will come here to McHale, who caught it. And the pressure was there, didn't see much of the goal, and in the end, harmlessly wide.
Yeah, it's actually a really well worked set piece. They run the back ones underneath, and then the front ones spin around the back, and he competes with it well, O'Malley. Brennan is the one that flicks it on. It's in the air a long time. Hui is actually probably putting good enough pressure on it. But it's a little bit snatchy for McHale.
Scored a winner in his debut at Belfield. Sean McHale announcing himself as a Wexford player. Lots of these Wexford players mightn't be operating in the top tier, but they've come through the big academies. Well grounded, and a lot of them, as we said, on loan, and looking to use this season at Wexford to really kick-start big careers.
Getting out and playing real football where there's consequences to winning and losing.
Huge consequences today, a chance to get to the Aviva Stadium. Brennan doing a good job with these O'Malley throw-ins. He's the one who's getting himself in the area where he thinks it's going to drop.
It's a very attacking midfield with Farrell, Brennan and Markey. You wouldn't actually turn around and say there's one defensive-minded player in it, so Brennan is the one that probably has to do it.
And now there's the advantage of Drogheda dropping off. Livingston can curl this one in. Great ball as well. And the flicked header from Alua. Mixing it up Wexford nicely.
It's a great ball from Livingston, I have to say. It's right, bend right around. It's just, yeah, he's stretching for it, and he does really well to get something on it. Didn't look like Dennison was actually overly worried by it. But they haven't played yet, Drogheda. They haven't made strong 2 or 3 passes together at all. They need to get Farrell, they need to get Markey on the ball, and that allows James Taylor and Perdo to be fed, but they haven't. A lot of every kick out they've gone long, they haven't once played out.
Yeah, Wexford more than holding their own. The efforts on goal so far have come from them. Brennan forward on the half volley. O'Malley, not a whole lot on his clearance. Lovic reacted well, and now Dobbs will go chasing, and Webster is coming under pressure. Dennison touched it well right to the edge of his area and bowls it out to Conor Kane. This change in system puts a big emphasis on Kane on the left and Ahui on the right. But certainly the change in system that's seen Dave Webster come in from July, been a regular, and James Bolger come in the summer window as well. It's a huge summer window as it turned out for Kevin Doherty and Dara Doyle. Players who've come in making a big impact, and the change in formation working. Corbally, and the flag goes up now against Dobbs.
Yeah, the change of formation. James Taylor up front has just freed up Perdo, because a lot of the time he was isolated. The wingers at the time, I think, was Foley and Davis, probably not getting beyond him enough, probably not getting close enough to him. But when he has a strike partner up there with James Taylor, they've worked out really well for them.
Kevin Doherty's 3rd season in the top job here. Lost in extra time to Shamrock Rovers in the 2nd round in 2022. Last season got to the quarter-finals, beaten by Bowes. His own cup history, played in 07. Dennis Behan's goal for Cork City. Doing for Longford. Despite league successes at Shelbourne, never really had a good cup run, and first division opposition caused them problems as well. So he will have taken nothing for granted coming into this today. Bolger, the last common man, looking to drill that one forward, drove it straight at Rowe. Webster, semi-finalist with Shamrock Rovers. Here goes Markey. Carries the ball beautifully, dangerous one in. Well dealt with by Lewis Temple.
It's a good position from Temple. He's right in that front post area where it comes across. He has to deal with the first ball, and he does.
All things being equal, he might have been lining out for Shelbourne today, given their defensive absentees for the big one later in Tala. Lewis Temple started the opening game of the season down at the RSC for them.
He's done really well. I was talking to the players. He's been excellent for Wexford since he came in. Here's Drogheda's long throw.
That's from Conor Kane. Livingston doing his bit. Stabbed away by Dobbs.
They need to clear it out and be ready to defend it.
Ahui and James Taylor. Too slight a touch on that one.
Just not. Drogheda just haven't come out and got going yet. A little bit tentative in some of their touches and some of their crossing and their passing. Little flick on for headers like that. They haven't played. Every time they've won a free kick or a goal kick, they haven't played out once. They're going direct into the front two, but they need to get a rhythm in the game.
say it's a fabulous day for a cup semi-final. The rain has abated. There was nothing wrong with it, just helping the pitch. No wind to speak of. Luke Dennison from third choice at Bohemians earlier in the season. Eyes on the Aviva Stadium now at the end of it. Piero, there's his strength backing in. And Farrell didn't take it first time. Markey, Farrell's gone down now inside the D. No whistle. Good defending from Mikey Rowe. Now he's been caught. The Wexford fans feel Damien McGrath letting it all go. Good take from Dobbs. Tahui with the beating of Alua. Livingston to the left-hand side, and Lovic in a Wexford throw-in.
I don't think they're frees from Farrell. I think he's expecting the challenge. The first one he's gone down screaming, and 2 minutes later he's back up looking for another one. I think the ref now is going to be reluctant to give things like that where they're a little bit 50-50.
Shane Farrell coming out to Livingston this time after the decoy on the long throw the last time. O'Malley, not as much on that one, and no surprise, Brennan's there again. Tidied up by Lovic. Walsh angles it out towards Isamala, who's a good option when he gets forward on that right-hand side for a ball like that one. Lovic doing that job now against Piero. Isamala. Big 50-50 Farrell and Corbally. Wexford ball.
Does really well, Lovic, just to get round him, and that's what we were saying. If he can get round him and help his centre-backs, brilliant, screen them a little bit. Sometimes with Piero, when a player's backing into you, just step away and take away that wall that he's looking for, that platform to control the ball. And it might just be that as he steps backwards, you just step to the side and come out in front, and you just take away all that strength that he has.
Just starting to wonder if there's a chiropractor on the Wexford medical staff. Cian O'Malley must be up to almost double figures now. But if you've got a weapon like this, why not use it?
You just haven't got forced contact on enough of them that have come in. It's been Brennan, the one that's coming out to get it.
And guess what? Brennan again. Livingston dabs it back in. Just too much of that for Dobbs. Dennison hurls it towards Piero. He just not sure if he gave up or pulled up there. But Thomas Alua doing his defensive bit.
It looked like he was pulling up that a muscle or something.
And the ball will bring the offside flag against Livingston, but there you see another example of Wexford mixing it.
Like you said, look, he touched on when Dobbs comes short, it's Livingston that's the one that's running beyond him. And it's another weapon for him. His athleticism and his willingness to run beyond is what's causing probably Drogheda a small bit of trouble, but he's linking well with Dobbs.
Came onto the senior scene, Wexford as the youths, of course, back in 07 after the demise of Dublin City. The same year, incidentally, that Drogheda were winning that Premier Division title. Reached the League Cup final in their second season. 3,500 down at Ferry Carrig for the visit of Stephen Kenny's Derry City, who were far too strong on the day. But all bar one of their seasons in League of Ireland football spent in the First Division. Promotion under Shane Keegan. But they went straight back down, and Drogheda had a part to play in that as well. The playoff that Wexford won the home leg with goals from Danny Furlong and Lee Chin. Lee Grace also in that team, but then the big 3-0 win here in the second leg. Sean Brennan, the subs, Kevin Farragher, Sean Thornton with the late penalty on a dramatic night here that sent Wexford back down. Playoffs last season, as close as they've come to going back up since then. Certainly in with a chance, it seems, this season. Fantastic job being done by James Keddy. McHale wins the corner.
It's Dobbs again. Again, he's won nearly every header that's gone up to him. He had this uncanny ability to jump and hang in the air for a long time, and he nearly heads it on the way down.
Mikey Rowe on the set piece again. And we've got Dobbs and Alua right there in on top of Luke Dennison. All the heavy hitters around the penalty spot.
I think it's Webster that went down actually, and he's just trying to make his way back in, but he needs to get back in and get set as quick as he can.
Have they got the matchups right here? Drogheda, Bolger picking up Isamala. And after that, there's a whole cluster of players looking to make their move now. Isamala towards the near post, it goes beyond him, and excellent goalkeeping. Dennison made it his.
He got the flight of it early, seen it all the way, and he moved his feet and he was gone.
Launches one towards James Taylor. Livingston back defending. And now Corbally in that neat and tidy way of his. Ball forward, bounces off the shins of Quinn. And now they'll go back for the foul on Brennan.
Yeah, it was a foul. Brennan gets it away early here. He just gets the contact on the leg.
And Dennison is down. The Drogheda United goalkeeper just after clearing that ball downfield, holding his thigh or his groin. He's 3 goalkeepers this season. Andrew Wogan, Jethron Barr, the other 2. It's Wogan who's on the bench today. Dennison, since he's come in, 11 appearances, 5 clean sheets. Part of a back 5 that's been very, very solid. Let's have a look again. Just wonder, did he jar something on landing?
One of the 5 signings we were talking about that have come in: Dennison, Farrell, Bulger, James Taylor and Ahui, where you consider what they lost last summer with Draper being the big one. They've actually probably got stronger this summer compared to last year, and that's what's really kicked them on.
Freddie Draper outstanding in the first half of last season, 8 league goals. Then at the end of the season, Conor Keeley's gone and Dale Rooney's gone. Big players to replace. Will there be a need for Andrew Wogan? And Dennison back to his feet. And back we'll go now for this free kick for Drogheda, just inside the centre circle. Bolger and Webster around the back here. Farrell heading in that direction. Kiera got the flick on, but under pressure again from Lovich. Couldn't guide it goalwards.
It's probably not a great header from him. He's never going to score from there. He probably needs to flick a little bit more centrally and hope somebody can come on to the second one.
Samala to the challenge with Farrell. Corbally nicks it forward. Decision goes Wexford's way.
For that one, that's what it must have been for, yeah, the Farrell one. He's done really well to bring it back there for that.
Launched by Temple towards Dobbs, who was pinned by Quinn. And that's going to run for a throw-in.
Yeah, he just stopped him jumping, didn't he? And if you can stop him getting off the ground, it helps when you go and win the header. No one actually gets any contact on it. But Aliu had gone into the central area. Dobbs had pulled out left, so there's no one behind him.
Ahui seals a couple of yards, flicked on by James Taylor. 13 appearances, 11 goals. What an addition he's been. Markey managed to survive. Webster, oh, Dobbs read it straight away that it might be on. Webster got enough on it though. Alua. And it's Andrew Quinn to come away for Drogheda. James Taylor. Flick on comes only as far as Isamala. Bolger up to win a good header. First on the scene though is Corbally. Neatly done again. McHale. Dobbs wants service. Not going to come his way just yet. O'Malley across to Temple. McHale looking for it again. Markey. Ahui goes beyond James Taylor, away by Temple, picked up by Farrell. Ahui again. Impressed here on loan the first half of last year. Bolger. Kane.
Just need to keep moving the ball quicker. That's 5 touches, 6 touches Bulger's taken. Touch and play, move them. So Wexford have to move and get across the pitch. The centre-backs are taking 4 or 5 touches.
Here is Ahui. Alua back goal side. Ahui drifting on the inside. Farrell now, early for James Taylor. Markey on the run around. Promising to this point, slips it into Piero. And look how many bodies Wexford got around the danger man.
Again, 2 or 3 touches at the top end of the pitch, and it's Markey that comes around the front, brings them to life.
That's going to be Piero's last action. How big a factor could this be? We saw him pull up chasing a long ball earlier on, and there's obviously something gone awry. He is making way, and Adam Foley's going to come on. Half an hour in, the bang-in form, France Piero, who scored goals home and away against Wexford. A couple of last season with that loan. Will play no more in this one.
He said it when he was running through that time, and it was like he just stopped chasing and pulled up a little bit. But then he continued. He let him go, and then it was Doherty pulled him and said, "Are you okay?" And he just sort of gave him the hands as if no. He tried to take him off then, but yeah, he's a big loss because of the partnership he had with James Taylor.
So the versatile Adam Foley's on. Here is James Taylor looking to win something, and that something is a corner off O'Malley.
Didn't see any muscle going or anything. It was like interesting to see what Doherty says after the game.
Now Farrell on the corner kick. Brennan towards the near post, very good in the air, as we've seen defensively already. Looking to attack that one in the opposition penalty area.
There's a bit of a gap in that area that he just comes onto it. It's a very hard angle for him to score. He's so far past the front post. It's hard for him to get that power and generate it to get on target.
There's the armband with Gary Deegan on the bench. Surprisingly, he's only got a couple of goals this season, Ryan Brennan. There has been his spell in the season where he has played the more deeper midfield role. Both of his goals in the cup though against Wilton, and a free kick on his 200th appearance against Athlone. Temple under pressure from Foley, who's straight into it, Adam Foley. Running out of pitch in the end.
Yeah, he just turned him, and he's dealing with it well enough, and he slows up a little bit and allows Foley to get in. And the linesman seen it, the referee's assistant seen it from there. He's done really well.
Minus Samala down towards Dobbs. Big howl from Ryan Brennan as he felt the contact.
Even the small little thing that they're doing just to get out is they're deepening the right back, and Kane has to go all the way up for him, and then they're clipping into that channel because they're thinking, well, there's no protection in front of the full-back Bulger.
Mali, prodigious distance on that again.
Sometimes when you play against 3-5-2, if you deepen your full-backs at times, the wing-backs have very far to travel, and if they don't get out quick enough or they go late, you're leaving 1v1s with your centre-backs up against the Lua and Mikey Rowe.
Now Mali is just waiting as he's waving Temple into the penalty area here. Livingston has dropped off for the short one. Saw the damage they could do with that if they choose to go that route, but instead O'Malley, that's his best one so far. James Taylor headed it off Corbally, launched away by Bulger. Walsh does have top flight experience with Sligo. James Taylor. Be a good contest here. Ahui very quick, Alua likewise. Ahui kept the pressure on.
He's done really well to match him there, he has, because McHale has gone in and competed, so there is a gap for Alua. Does really well just to get across and match the run and cover in.
The battle of the long throws, Ahui. It's Alua on the end of it, and away by Corbally. Kane. Good angle across here, and the big men stayed up there, including Quinn. Dobbs. Corbally cannons off Markey. And Quinn gets there. Tangling with McHale. Goal kick.
McHale does well on the initial header. It's really good because Webster's on his inside, and I'm not sure who's on his outside left. The header, which is brilliant because he's on his way in to tackle Webster or compete with Webster in the air. Then he's a little bit slow getting out of that one. In the end, it just goes out for a goal kick.
Well, we're hearing it's a hamstring injury that has forced Franz Piero, Drogheda United's leading scorer, off the pitch here inside half an hour. These things happen in cup semi-finals, best laid plans. There's always a twist and a turn and something to deal with. Webster goes early. James Taylor looks to have timed his run well. Kane. Oh, it wasn't a bad ball in.
It's a great ball in. Foley has his hand up, apologising, saying he probably should be getting across to it.
Great to see Conor Kane back to full steam, isn't it? The injury that kept him out for so long.
Brilliant, especially in that wing-back role for Drogheda since he changed that shape. He's been excellent for them. He drives forward. He has some change of gear as well. I didn't realise he was as quick as he was. Like I said, watched him at Tala and he just bursting through gaps. He's been excellent, especially since the summer for Drogheda.
He's even got a goal this season in the trouncing of Sligo, which took him to 2 in now 182 appearances.
Prolific.
Looking to change it up a little bit there as Corbally went to the end line, but a little bit too meaty to throw it.
Don't know what he's expected to do with the header in the corner there. He's not heading that back into the box from there. The one time Drogheda play quick, James Taylor gets in the side, Webster puts it down. They have to play at the tempo they're playing at every weekend, the Premier Division tempo, where the game's quicker, they're moving the ball quicker, they're a little bit too slow, and a little bit too tentative. And Wexford's game plan, which they've implemented, is probably coming out better.
More often than not, you see Adam Foley play out in the right wing for Kevin Doherty, and he's drifting out there now. Didn't reach him though. Here is Dobbs. Economical but accurate with his touches is Samala. Looks for Corbally. Temple drops to give him that ball to play. Walsh. Taken in by Livingston.
He's done really well there, Livingston, because the keeper's struggling.
Look at Dobbs here, just looking to work off the shoulder of Quinn. Eye on the ball all the way though from Andrew Quinn. Kane. Foley back for Farrell. Quinn again. Alua cutting off the angle for the ball to Ahui. Farrell whips it into the James Taylor. Foley causing a problem for Samala. Farrell again. Just caught by Corbally in that. Both of them down injured now. Shout from Drogheda, how many against Cian Corbally?
Yeah, this is a foul, yeah, he has caught him. But no, that's his third foul in the middle of the pitch. The ref's having a word with him. It's probably the first time he's really gone to ground. I'm not sure if he's gone to ground, he's just stamped on the front of the foot. But it's his third one. I think he's gone in against Brennan twice as well. So the ref's warned him, another one, and you're in the book. Whereas the first time Drogheda showed any sort of patience in their possession, but with tempo in it. And when they go into James Taylor, that has to stick then. He can't play that first time.
Farr not making best use of that situation, but here's Bolger. Send it back in first time, a tempter as well. Quinn couldn't quite get to the pitch of it. Kane driving against Lovich. Conor Kane hangs one up, and the header is beaten away. Ryan Brennan denied. Might have seen it late as well. Conor Walsh, a lot of bodies in there. Now Alua looks to lead the counter. Bolger leans on and does enough. First big threat from Drogheda, Ryan Brennan.
I think it's Lovich is on his way out to Conor Kane, and he knows he doesn't put on the brakes quick enough, and he just skips by him. And that's a lovely little ball that he's hung up. And Brennan, we were talking about how well he hangs in the air, and he does it here. It's going through body, so it's a good save for the keeper to see it, because I think O'Malley throws his header as well. So Walsh has done really well to keep his eye on, and he's palmed that away to safety.
O'Malley is warming up now, getting a little more on them each time. Clever touch from Livingston, or at least he thought O'Malley would still be out there. He dropped back. I've seen Ethan Boyle going up and down the sideline far side, working his way back from an injury, but I guess, as is the case with Gary Deegan on the other side, the side is playing so well, the manager can't really change it.
The midfield three are working okay. Like you said, they've stopped Drogheda playing. They've stopped Markey and Farrell getting on the ball and making passes. Lovich has done really well, and in fairness to Corbally, who normally gets on the ball, he's gone into 3 or 4 tackles himself.
Launched by Dave Webster. James Taylor. That one a little bit too obvious as he went in late on O'Malley.
I think he's jumped early, O'Malley, and he knows he's going to take the contact then. It's a big challenge for Temple and O'Malley to deal with James Taylor and Franz Perlo, but now it's obviously Adam Foley.
Plenty of height on that one. Giving time for Dobbs to try and get there. Quinn just checked his progress. Here is Dobbs now. Looking to set one up for Isamala, who really caught that one. And Bolger, from a Drogheda point of view, was in the perfect position. Would have been interesting had that found its way through, where it might have ended up.
He's done well, Bolger, just to be down the line of it, because I think it is travelling, you're right.
Corbally linking with Alua. Crossing opportunity, fabulous ball in, big save, big goal, Aaron Dobbs. Poacher supreme, here we go, the cat's set right amongst the pigeons now as Wexford take the lead at Weavers Park.
And it's that man, Aaron Dobbs. If ever it finishes to sum him up, it's that. He's just straight onto it. It's really good play from Wexford, actually. And Alua delivers that ball. You get first contact on it. I think it might be Mikey Rowe that gets enough. This is a great little ball from Livingston. It's just telling Alua, go in and cross that. You get a touch on it. It is Mikey Rowe that gets a touch on the keeper, makes a good save, but it's Dobbs who's following up like all good strikers. 1 yard out, brilliant from Dobbs.
Well, they have carried a threat, and that front three, all involved again. 38 goals between the three of them this season, and for Aaron Dobbs, it's the goal that takes him to double figures. Most of these goals have come since the summer break. The club's all-time second leading scorer behind Danny Furlong. What a time to score as well, so close to half-time.
It's a captain's goal, like you said. He links the play originally and then he's gone. But brilliant from Alua, but the pass from Corbally is just telling Alua, just go and cross that. You don't need to do anything else with it. They're hard for the defender to get across. Mikey Rowe gets great contact on it, actually. It's a good instinctive save. But like all good strikers should do, he follows up, and there he is winning another header again.
His 42nd goal for the club. And depending on what happens in the second half, he might never score a bigger one. Here goes Kane. Foley, as Drogheda looked to respond, just lost his footing at the crucial moment though.
just not playing with a tempo or an aggression about them. Then what happens is you don't get into a rhythm, and things get frustrated. The touch isn't there. They're not looking forward early enough. They're putting the foot in it, waiting for things. Look down the pitch before you receive and have an idea where you want to go, and that's what increases the tempo in the game.
And you think back to that Conor Walsh save just a few moments earlier from Ryan Brennan. How big that one is now. The Wexford fans, there were supporters' buses booked out and sold out this week. Pick up points across the county as they were heading up.
But if you came out and said before the game that the first half, Drogheda were only going to have one shot on goal, on target, in the whole first 45 minutes, you wouldn't have believed it. But they just haven't played with any type of tempo, any type of aggression in their play. They've gone forward sometimes off of nothing, where they're going into their strikers without any idea of what's going to come next.
And they've defended the long throws. Can they cause some problems in one of their own? It's the goal scorer, Dobbs, to head clear. Shane Farrell to deliver again, asking Webster to go and attack it. Markey, you could see Corbley's situation. He was trying to wait for the bounce and get his foot to it, but Markey, so quick in thought indeed, got his head to it, high foot free kick.
The bit that you're saying is waiting on the bounce. That's the ones you can't wait for the bounce. You have to go and head it. And by the time, I'm not sure who's coming around to get it, by the time he comes around to get it, makes contact with you, it could be a free kick. Markey's nicking around. You know you can beat Markey in the air, so just go and compete. He has to foul you then. But Farrell scored a goal here against Bow. I think it was Bowes. Scored the opening goal. A brilliant free kick he scored that night, and this was within his range. Brennan also scored against that loan.
And Conor Kane is the left-footed option. This looks a perilous situation for Wexford. A little bit of a guessing game about to start for Conor Walsh as to who's going to strike this and where it might go. It's Ryan Brennan, and it is heading out of the ground.
Took the roof of the house behind the goal. It was a big wall to try and get over, in fairness. They put the whole back four in, I think.
Well, this is the situation Wexford and their supporters would have been dreaming of coming up here. And the expectation, the pressure in that sense was all on Drogheda, the home side, the top tier side, a side playing so well at the moment, beating Derry City, the last out. But they trail here as we head towards half-time. No First Division side has won the Cups in Sporting Fingal in 09. No First Division side has walked out in the final since 2011 Shells. Still a long way to go. But Wexford doing what they have to do.
Even that is like, you just don't deal with the ball over the top. It's headed down, and I'm not sure Webster's just indecisive what he wants. He ends up taking a touch out for a corner.
We've seen a nice variation on the set pieces when they've had them. Corbley hangs it up. McHale made first contact. Second chance for him in the first half. That one's gone wide. But what a first half from Wexford. Started well, created the chances, carried the threat, and in the end got the reward. Maybe a tale of two strikers in this first half. Franz Piero, Drogheda's main man up front, off injured after half an hour. 12 minutes later, Aaron Dobbs pouncing at the near post after a brilliant Wexford move and a fine ball in from Alua. But it might be on here for First Division Wexford. Still a big second half to come. Drogheda with some work to do here. Half time at Weavers Park. Drogheda United 0, Wexford FC 1.
For a time, you could almost say it was a game that had extra time and penalties written all over it, but it certainly livened up towards the end of that first half, particularly when Aaron struck to put Wexford in front. As the old saying goes, goals change games, and that one certainly has. And arguably, Wexford have slightly shaded it in that first half.
Not even arguably, Peter. They were by far the better team. If I was an independent looking at that game, I would say they were the Premier Division team. The way they're passing the ball, and we forget how young this team I mean, the back four, two 21-year-olds and a 19-year-old, they've created the better chances and they've scored an absolutely brilliant goal as well.
Yeah, considering what's at stake here today, Alan, Wexford have shown no fear whatsoever and really taken the game to Drogheda.
Yeah, and that was always the fear for Drogheda, because as the Premier Division team, the superior team, you have to impose yourself on the game, show a bit of authority. They haven't done any of that. Kevin Doherty has a massive team talk ahead of him now for the next 15 minutes, because it's been all Wexford. They've been absolutely dreadful, Drogheda, really poor. The game itself isn't great, to be honest with you, Peter, but out of the two teams, definitely Wexford deserve to be in the lead.
Yeah, in fairness, it's been a game bereft really of chances up until the latter stages of that first half, but Wexford deservedly go in front. And a well-taken goal. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, James Carey will be absolutely buzzing. Starts on the left back. It's a brilliant 1-2 by Livingston. And the weight in this pass can't be underestimated. Alua, what a ball into that. He put one in about 10 minutes before that. We'll see it in the clip again. But it's a perfect cross. And it's a great connection in the front post. And then, of course, it's Dobbs there. Brilliant. He's actually reacted really well, and he's lifted it over the keeper. Usually they stab at that, but he's lifted it up over the keeper and put it into the net. It's brilliant, and it's a real poacher's goal.
Yeah, it changes the whole dynamic of the game, because just prior to that, Drogheda had a couple of half chances. Ryan Brennan getting on the end with a couple of headers.
Yeah, a couple of half ones. Up to this, they've had nothing really, Peter. That was the best of it, as you say, that corner there. Good run by Brennan, but a difficult chance. This was the best one they've had all day. For the first time, Conor Kane gets down around the outside, stands up a lovely little cross. They have bodies in the box for the first time all day as well. And Ryan Brennan, who's got very good in the air, to be fair to him, Peter. Good header. The only thing, it's just not far enough into the corner. It favours the goalkeeper as it's central, and a good save from Conor Walsh. But that has been the best of it. Kevin will be so disappointed when you think of the run of form that they've been on coming into this game as well, Peter. 1-7, drawn 3 in their last 11, only lost 1. And to turn up and play the way they have today, they've been absolutely shocking, Drogheda. Really poor. I can't emphasise that enough. As the Premier Division team, you have to be honest, they've been absolutely dreadful. So he's a huge 15 minutes ahead of him trying to turn this round. They've already lost Piero. They haven't played with any intensity. They haven't moved the ball. They've actually helped Wexford, to be honest with you. And now Wexford have gained confidence, not just from the goal. The longer the game was going on, they were actually growing into the game and growing in confidence as well. And now their tails are right up, so it's a huge ask now for Drogheda. I do think they're capable of turning it around, but they have to improve. They've been dreadful.
They certainly have to improve. And in fairness, Wexford, they took the game to them right from the off. And you guys were a little bit surprised with the high line that they were employing, but they were gaining success from it. And
they were playing very, like you see there now, that's Dobbs. That was the first shot on target, right? They had everything. You see Alua here going into the corner. Its confidence is up. He nutmegs the defender and runs on. Now, this was before the goal. Look at that cross. It's right in the area. Now, as a striker or as a manager, saying the next time it goes in there, you better be there. And that's what happened. You see it here again. Great cross into the box. That's a half chance. If he just moves his feet a little bit more, he gets a good header on that. And this is just before half-time. I mean, if that goes in and 2-0 at half-time, they've got a mountain to climb. But Wexford and James Carey will be absolutely delighted. More of the same.
Yeah, so maybe history on the cards. We'll wait and see. We'll be going back to Drogheda shortly for the second half. So we'll see you right after this break. Okay, teams back out in Drogheda, so let's return for the second half.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Welcome back. What a 45 minutes ahead for both of these clubs now. Wexford have themselves in front. They've already created history by getting to an FAI Cup semi-final. Could they create even more here and book a place at the Aviva? Aaron Dobbs' goal separating the teams here. Kevin Doherty, Dara Doyle. Big half-time team talk. You can imagine Gary Deegan in the background there might have been involved as well, the captain. And they've got to up at several levels in half. Derry City awaiting the winners in 5 weeks' time.
You've got to bring a tempo, and with a tempo comes aggression, and then the quality can come out after that. But if you're not going to bring that to the game to start with, your quality can't show. You haven't shown wide out of the Premier Division side so far. You haven't strung out together. You haven't any type of rhythm. You need to get going, otherwise they're gone out of the cup.
Dara Markey gets us going again. Back to Dave Webster. Launch long towards Douglas James Taylor. Nikolovic just dropping in front of the centre halves again to win the header. Lua, very, very big first half performance from him. Just 23 years of age, but well travelled. Started out at Rovers, was part of the Rovers 2 team with the likes of Sinclair Armstrong and Brandon Kavanagh. Ahui hurls it in. Samala won the header. This will break for Mikey Rowe. Lovely, clever little reverse ball for Livingston, who's got legs here. Alua down behind the play. Samala improvising a ball forward. And James Taylor clatted by Temple, but there's some attention required here for Alua.
Yeah, it's a clash between him and Ahui. None of them pull out. It's one of those where we've seen it on Friday as well, with Wisdom. He's coming through and he just follows through on him. And yeah, both of them got rocked by it. But Ahui gets up and actually makes a good recovery tackle on Livingston.
I have to say, given the season he's had, they couldn't afford to lose Alua here. One of the left-siders they have lost to injury, Mark Hanratty, who is back training. Former Dundalk youngster, but this has come too soon for him.
Bring 2 great crosses so far. That's his job in the team. He's done a lot of tracking back and helped out as well when Ahui's been advancing. And sometimes McHale is tucking in and helping his centre-backs, and there's a big gap. And he's filled in as well, and he has the legs and the power to do it. But then he also had the quality at the top end of the pitch to produce 2 crosses, one that leads to the goal.
Drogheda splitting the big men here. And there's hands on James Bolger, so they thought. Not enough to earn a penalty, though.
I don't think he's getting to it as well, which you can see he's scrambling. He's thinking, I can get on the end of this, but it's always that little bit too high, and then he just, because he's spinning, he probably can't jump then.
Walsh looking out towards this near side, and Dobbs is Samal up as well, but won by Bolger. Clipped on by Lovic. Returned by Webster. Lovic there again. The strength of Dobbs. This puts Farrell on the floor. Kane. Seen early by Temple. And out for a draw to throw in. Kane, in front of the loudest section of the Drogheda support down below us. Away by Temple, Kane and Brennan. Dobbs closing.
Rob Dobbs and Alua have actually walked back really well just to get little nicks on. Stops Brennan and Farrell just starting the game at times. He's just dropped in well.
Nicely weighted ball by Webster in front of Ahu. Markey getting into the penalty area. Wexford can see it away through Alua. O'Malley made that his.
Lack of quality from Ahua there. He just gets into a good area and decides to smack across, but it's not to anybody. There's no design to it.
He's got the pace to get there, but couldn't control his cross in the end. He's gone clattering into the wall behind the goal as well. Slowly back to his feet. Alua has seen that. He's gone way up on the left-hand side now. If Wexford can look in that direction, but they've coughed it up cheaply. Markey. Here's Foley. An important foot in there from Lewis Temple.
Yeah, he's done well to recover it because it's his pass. The pass is too straight, Des, and they're easily read when they're straight like that from the centre-backs. You can actually show it and then step in front of it, and that's what Markey does. He nicks in front of it.
Connor Kane looking to wind this one up again. Centre halves in the penalty area, including Webster. Back out with Kane again. Has a little look. Charged down by Isamala, who gets there a second time.
He does well to get out to it again. Good full-back play. He just gets down the line of the cross, stops it. Gap in that front area though.
Brennan looking to fill it. It's gone beyond him. And taken by Conor Walsh. Ball down to McHale. Here's Livingston. Closed down quickly by Markey. Five minutes gone, second half. The Drogheda fans, the longer it goes 1-0, will start clock watching. O'Malley taking his time and getting us going again, as you would expect. Brennan. Those two could come out with a ball between them, I think, in that one throw and one headed. Markey looking to time that pass for Kane, but Issamala Gamble didn't check his run.
Drogheda
That's the right decision.
Yeah, Drogheda up the tempo in terms of getting the ball back. They've nicked it off Wexford twice, 2 or 3 times in the last 5 minutes, but then the quality once they win it isn't there. Again, it's not a great pass from Markey down the side.
Flick on from Bolger. It will break to Farrell. Here is Douglas James Taylor. Taking on McHale, who got something on the cross. And then had support from O'Malley behind him.
It's good defending in the end from Wexford. It's the first time they probably got Drogheda actually got a nick on one of the long throws. Alua does well actually to pull out, because Farrell looks like he's coming onto it, and Alua just hangs a foot and then takes it away.
They've been penned in start of this second half, Wexford. And Issamala won his header. It's a step up for Issamala, Divine Issamala as well this season, the 21-year-old who started out underage at Rovers, little spell at Crumlin before arriving out at St Francis under 16s. He's just had 2 senior Leinster Senior League seasons there, the promotion campaign, and then last season excellent as they finished 4th in the top flight, where he played at centre half alongside a former Drogheda defender, Stephen Dunn. But it's right back for James Keddy. He's made a big impact to Issamala since he's come in.
Like you said, physically he's probably more suited to centre back in terms of being in a right back position, where you got to get low and get out and defend crosses, and even distribution wise it has to be different.
Opened his account in the quarter-final against Treaty, that brilliant first half. Alua got 2 and Issamala got 2. Bolger down the middle, James Taylor on the move. Wexford need to find a way now to get up the pitch. Long ball seeking out Corbally. Not too long in the end. Dennis. Foley beaten in the air by McHale. Brennan. Kane gets on it again, but a little tangle off the ball. And Ryan Brennan penalised. Livingston has got himself into offensive and defensive areas.
Just clips his heel actually. He does really well to get it out to Markey Brennan, but then he nicks the back of his heel and he goes down. It's a good spot from the ref.
Wexford's fans, what they would give for the cushion and the comfort that a second goal would give them here. And Ethan Boyle is coming on early period of this second half. And it's Mikey Rowe who is going to depart. Ethan Boyle, who didn't get in the matchday squad in 2019 for Shamrock Rovers, has been working his way back from an injury.
Looks like Mikey Rowe actually has a bit of an injury, because he's limping off as well.
Fans' favourite already, Mikey Rowe. Big ovation from the travelling supporters as he goes off, and Ethan Boyle to come in. Let's just wait and see now if Boyle plays down the right-hand side, or maybe Cian Corbally might go there, Boyle into the middle. We'll wait and see what James Keddy's plan is.
It looks that way, Des. It's a good show, because it looks Corbally's out here in front of Issamala.
Takes away one of their big attacking threats, one of their goal scorers though. O'Malley's left that short. And then there was do I or don't I as Walsh was advancing and he was retreating. But those little uncertain moments seized on by the Drogheda fans.
They're getting a bit nervy, Wexford. You've seen it, Even with Lovic here taking 2 in the middle of the pitch, it goes back to O'Malley. He doesn't deal with the first one, he then thinks he has to deal with the second one, and that distance between him and Walsh just gets smaller and smaller.
Kane, header won by Temple. Kane again, locks it in, big header away by O'Malley. Brennan, capable of the spectacular. A lovely daisy cutter that took a nick on its way, and out for a Drogheda corner. The pressure mounts now.
Again, the crowd got in it because it's just more pressure. It's an okay header. Brennan does well. That's a really good touch on his chest, and he smacked it. Probably the slightest of nicks.
Farrell leaves this one for Markey. Farrell loitering just on the edge of the area. Here's the delivery. Keeper shout. Corbally with a loose touch, and Kane. Well, so many bodies in front of him, just right-footed, looked to guide it. Couldn't quite find that top corner.
It's a great description from where we are, because there's that many bodies in front of him. The only gap that he can see from our vantage point is that gap into the far right side, and you can see he does try and guide it there. Good work.
Launched by Walsh. Samala up early, likewise Brennan. Forward by Lovic, nicked on by Boyle. Dobbs and Webster. And there's a yellow card for Dave Webster here.
Yeah, his arms are there, and you can see Dobbs is coming across. You see it here. He's up, he's led with the elbow. Sore one for Dobbs. He's brave going into it too.
Shane Farrell is going off. Luke Heaney is coming on. He's had a really good season. Plays right back when he's needed, but into that central midfield area now. Combative, the longest serving player at Drogheda United. He arrived back in 2019 from the Pats Academy. They need all his drive and his energy now. Livingston. Well judged by Bolger. Isamal in behind him, had to win that header. Boyle. Heaney straight into pressurised, and here's Ryan Brennan. Markey ahead of him. James Taylor eating up the ground in the middle. Brennan goes early, and it will run through to Kane. James Taylor uses Kane as the decoy. James Taylor. What a recovery. Lovic getting back into the penalty area.
I think it might have been Livingston, you know.
You're right, Livingston.
And that's what we're talking about, the legs he brings to the team, and it was him right in front of Walsh.
Kahui. Here is Adam Foley. Well, Damien McGrath feels he went looking for it. Cian O'Malley just threw the hands up. Was there any contact? The replay should tidy it up for us.
That's not a penalty, no way. And Damien McGrath's done really well there not to give it.
From O'Malley's point of view as well, so tempting as a centre-half maybe just to go to ground, try and sweep that ball, try and win a tackle, but he knew, he read the situation well, stepped away. Quinn. Brennan against Corbally. This will break for McHale. Alua. Livingston. Little disguise went into Corbally. Well, shot wide, offside flag up anyway, but neat and tidy there from Wexford.
The midfield three have been really good. They switched up play. Sometimes it's Livingston going beyond. This time it was Corbally. He's done really well. I don't know if it's actually, it looks like, yeah, Corbally has gone out to the right, but he's the one that's made that run from inside.
O'Malley, looked on by Lovic. Corbally. Heaney wins it back for Drogheda. Here goes Kane. James Taylor with his arm up in there. Won't reach him though, away by Temple, on by Livingston.
Playing as individuals, Foley and James Taylor, distances between them when the ball's coming in from Kane. He's actually making a run into the left channel. Foley and James Taylor's in the box, and there's no connection between them.
And if the Wexford fans are blocking off this second half as it goes, we've hit the hour mark. That would have been a target, I'm sure, for James Keddy as well, knowing that Drogheda had to come out strong. Start of the second half. Heaney forward. James Taylor, little touch inside. Unlucky for Quinn. Slip at the crucial moment.
Some of the stuff Wexford is self-inflicted. They probably haven't got enough on their clearances. They've probably been a little bit sloppy in their distribution or getting hooks, headers. It's just getting a small bit of momentum, and the crowd have got into it then. But that's the sloppy stuff that Drogheda just haven't been good at today. The passing's been away and poor.
Boyle and Corbally, now Dobbs and Livingston has been impressive in that midfield. McHale looking for an option. And it was on if he could have dropped it over the head of a Hui there. Alou had made the run.
I actually probably don't think he needs to lift it. I think as soon as he makes the run, he shift it and slide it as quick as you can. And Alou is in.
Brennan, some distance on that header. Lovic picked up by Livingston, forward by McHale. Unable to hit Dobbs though. Drogheda to come again. Heaney. Quinn. Wexford dropping off here. No immediate pressure on the ball now. Heaney. It's good from Livingston, forcing Quinn to turn. And Samala back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's done really well. Even the Wexford players are clapping him. It's a good position. His starting position is good, his awareness is good, and then obviously it's a cushioned header.
I think we found here that there would be a goal in Wexford today, so attack-minded have they been, and the attacking players they have on the pitch this season. The issues we were saying, you look at clean sheets this season, just 6, which isn't a whole lot. They did get one last out against UCD.
Well, you touched on how young their back three is and the fact that they've all come in on loan, so they probably haven't played together that much as well this season. So there is going to be a chance in them. There is going to be a chance for Drogheda in this game. It's about whether they have the quality to take it or how they fashion that.
And the longer it goes with the clean sheet intact, the more confidence will build in that young defence. 21-19, 21-19, that back four.
More desperation comes into Drogheda's play, but again, the 3 or 4 touches, they all have their hands up looking for something, and that shows to me that they have an idea where they want to go and where they want to play. And that's actually a cue to press somebody when they put their hands out like that to say they haven't got a pass.
Livingston needed a shout there. Here is James Taylor, waits for Kane to get around the outside, slips it in towards Foley. This will come to Quinn. Oh, turned in for the equaliser, Adam Foley. Well, the pressure's been building and building second half. Excellent work from Conor Kane again down the left-hand side. And while he didn't get to the first header, Adam Foley, his reaction so sharp when the ball came back in. Just needed to make the right contact from that range. And it's the substitute, the man who's come on for the leading scorer, Franz Piero, who's found the equaliser for Drogheda.
Yeah, it's a decisive contact, in fairness. He does well, but again, Wexford are probably architects of their own downfall. They overdo it. Goes straight into James Taylor. Does really well here, Taylor. He links the game, and Kane's coming, and he waits for him. Great little dink on the run from Kane, but two Wexford players going for the same ball, and that means McHale is tucked in a little bit too much, and it gives Quinn a free strike on it. It's not the best of one, but Foley's in on the end of it.
I have to say, that's a chance that could easily be missed as well. It's coming at you so quickly. Got to get your body position right, get the touch right. Adam Foley got it all right.
Yeah, he has done well, in fairness, to keep it down and under the crossbar as well, because he's sliding at it. Like you said, it could have went anywhere from... It lands at Foley, and Foley sticks it away to the delight of the Drogheda fans just underneath us, Des.
Well, he's pushing on 100 appearances for the club, Adam Foley. That is a huge goal for him. He's 9th of the season in all competitions. And there might be an again offside flag up this time. And he'll be grateful of that, Adam Foley, as he balloons that one over. Telling his teammates he knew all along he was off. But here's the goal again.
It's hit the roof of the net. Like you said, he's stretching on it with his left foot. And when you stretch like that and lean back, the ball will rise. It just didn't rise enough. Well, from a Drogheda's point of view, it rose just enough to hit the roof of the net.
Certainly been a different feel to this second half. We've had two very good striker goals, one in the first half, one in the second, to tie us up at one apiece. Drogheda now will be hoping they can kick on from here and show what they've got as the Premier Division team. A ground where they've been so strong this season. 20 games, beaten just 3 times. Markey. The run was made by Heaney, away on the half volley by Cian O'Malley. Attacked by Bolger. Wayward header from Boyle. Skims off the head of Luka Lovic. Calmly done by Tempo. Lua looked to pressurise. Nice ball out from Dennison. Booing direct for James Taylor. Rolls off O'Malley initially, waits for support to arrive. Heaney. On that right-hand side, Luke Heaney's won the corner.
It's a good run from James Taylor into the corner, and this time the delivery is good, and he holds it up, but he just gets Drogheda up the pitch, nicks them a corner. Wexford just need to settle. The communication level needs to be higher from the centre-backs. When they're jumping for headers, giving the information into the midfield to tell them to play quicker. A few times you've seen them caught the ball, and that's what leads to the goal.
Markey to deliver, deep as well. Brennan tied up by Luka Lovic. Heaney trying to go with a Lua here. And just the touch took him into a hui. Luke Heaney. Foley, delightful touch inside for Markey. Wants it back again, Adam Foley. Crucially for Wexford, Lewis Temple got himself in the path of the ball.
It's a lot more livelier now. That's a great run from Malua on this side, right in front of us. And he gets away from Kane with a little nutmeg, and he's in. Ball just probably catches under his feet. Who he comes across. They looked up there, James Taylor's in on the other side. He just plays too quick then.
You look down now and you look at Dobbs and you look at Ethan Boyle as the two experienced players in this Wexford team. Big part to play, and Boyle's done well there as Wexford try and settle again. They've got to be more accurate up to Dobbs. You can see he's not happy with just a ball like that. He's no chance on getting the end of, and it's going to come back at Wexford again.
You probably haven't got a Lewis enough in this half as well, considering how dangerous he was in the first half. They haven't used him at all.
Kane, off he goes, down the left again, seen off this time, Isamala, Corbally, Isamala again, Livingston, instead it's inside the Dobbs, he's been put offside. Looks like Wexford might just have, I don't know if it's temporary or not, but might just have rejigged here with Conor Kane doing well down this left. Livingston might just have switched out here and Corbally back into the middle.
Yeah, probably just to help with the fact how well Conor Kane is doing. Just pulled legs out here. Corbally has gone back into the midfield because they lost a little bit of rhythm without him and any type of control he had. Clean Curtis off the bench, could he, like with the goals he scored as well this season, he scored 7 with 3 of them in the FAI Cup.
20 minutes of the 90 remaining. Extra time and penalties today if needed. Ahui breaks off Bolger, James Taylor. And Foley was looking for another instinctive finish.
Another shot that nearly fell to Foley, but he's in the middle of the goal. Again. Another goalkeeper injury, Des. It's an epidemic of them.
Treatment for Conor Walsh. Kevin Doherty gets his men in. James Keddy gets his men in. Wexford need to find a way to wrest a little bit of control of this game back again. I guess they also have to just look at the scoreline, 1-1. They're not behind here.
Yeah, would you have offered it? Would you have taken it at this stage, 70th minute? But this is the fourth goal as well. It's a brilliant ball from Alua, and that's a great touch from Mikey Rowe. But Dobbs is just following up lovely. Like you said, he just instinctive comes out. This is the second goal. Like I said, McHale comes in and probably is coming in to help O'Malley when he doesn't really need it. And that communication, and sometimes the centre-backs, he can overcommit centrally, and it leaves Quinn free to get. It was still not a great strike from Quinn, but Foley then. They're just a little bit imbalanced because of it, Des.
Well, as it turned out, it was a great strike from Quinn. So Conor Walsh good to go again. Drogheda with the momentum. Webster underneath this one. Isamala works it inside to Dobbs, on in turn towards Corbally. Big tackle that from Quinn. McHale. Boyle. Oh, and that came off the referee. Wexford wanted something, wanted the play to be stopped. Markey overruns it into tempo, and Ethan Boyle still protesting that it came off Damien McGrath.
McGrath has to probably put his hands up and say, yeah, I don't think arguing back with Boyle is going to help, but just put your hand up and say, look, it has hit me. Well, I thought once it hits the ref, he has to stop it.
Webster whips it out to Kane. And it is Livingston facing him up now. Foley, little chest around the corner, and O'Malley did well in that battle with Douglas James Taylor to hold him off and let it run through to his goalkeeper.
See, he just catches his heel. I thought he was meant to stop it from there because it...
Or step over.
I'm not sure if that's in his locker, but like as soon as he touches it, is it not meant to be stopped?
Well, I think the man you were calling for is going to come in soon, Cian Curtis, 20-year-old from Kilnamanagh, former Shamrock Rovers underage star. We're hearing he's going to replace Luka Lovic, so that is an attacking change. Isamala just have to keep those concentration levels sharp. Wexford is trying to come at them. Webster out to Quinn. Unable to link up with Ahui, and now we can have that change. Cian Curtis, who arrived in, having won the 2023 Under-19 League of Ireland Player of the Year with Shamrock Rovers. 7 starts now, a 29th appearance off the bench. He's been the super sub behind the likes of Dobbs and Rowan Alua. 8 goals already, scored at Wayside, scored twice at Ballyfermot as they came through the first couple of rounds, and off the bench he's got a couple of big late winners in the league as well. Curtis, you know all about him. What will he bring?
Do you know what? He has an unbelievable strike of a ball, and he has a knack of just pulling on things really quick. A real eye for goal. He actually, I signed him when he was probably 10 or 11 out of Kilnamanagh. He was with St Joseph Boys and he came over to us originally from Kilnamanagh. You see the power, he's bulked up really well. Really good player, great lad and a really good pro.
Looks like he's come on the right-hand side, so Livingston back in with Boyle and Corbally in the middle. Markey usually has an impact in a game, a big moment in a game. Dara Markey, they're looking for a handball. They won't get one.
Oh, I think he's blocked and then it bounced up again. You see it there, he can't do anything. His arm's down by his side and the ball hits his foot and bounces up.
All three Drogheda centre halves already in the penalty area. 16 to go. One more goal might be enough to win this one. They'll get to do it again.
Stop getting forced contact on things from deliveries, from long throws and corners. They need to get to the ball. They need to go get that aggression back into the game that they started with.
Ryan Brennan being marked by Curtis. Decent looking delivery and the header's in! Douglas James Taylor strikes again. 14 Drogheda United appearances, 12 goals. He has been the man for them in this FAI Cup run. And while they lost Piero to an injury, his replacement Foley delivered, and now James Taylor does what he has done since he's been signed to this club.
James Taylor, how sweet he is for Drogheda. Unbelievable header. He hasn't had an impact in the ball, he hasn't done much, but he's just peeled out. Fantastic header, it really is. We're right behind it and he just guides it. You can see he just pushes off and guides it into that far top corner. Brilliant delivery and a brilliant goal from James Taylor.
Well, the connection with the sister club also. Kevin Doherty talking to me during the week, he said he's had his eye on him for a long time. Just 22. What an impact though.
He scored big goals for Drogheda in fairness to him, and you know what, he keeps going. Powerful, good runner. The one probably time he's won a header so far in the game.
Had the confidence in his debut against Shelburne to step up to the penalty spot 84 minutes in and score to level the game. And the goals have kept on coming since then.
And even in the press he's done this week, I don't think he lacks confidence.
Well, can Wexford respond? Really good first half. They need a big last, well, maybe 15 minutes or so here. They've got goal scorers on the pitch. Can they get them into the right areas? Corbally, McHale already setting off from left back. Alua looking to run in behind, and Alua will get there. Thomas Alua squares it across. Dobbs has bundled it in! What a response from Wexford! Behind for only a matter of minutes, Aaron Dobbs strikes again, and once again a big nod to Thomas Alua.
That man Dobbs again, and he's fed by Alua. It's a brilliant run from Alua. We're watching it behind it. He goes short, show and go off the back of Quinn, and then he's down the side. But can he deliver? Yes, he can. And who's right in the 6-yard box? It's that man Dobbs again. Brilliant from Wexford, and what a response. He sees the show and go there as he gets on the outside. Brilliant cross as well, and Dobbs just bundles it in.
Quinn couldn't get back at Alua, and by whatever means necessary into the net by Aaron Dobbs.
I think it comes off the back of his calf at this stage. Yeah, you see.
Oh, incredible stuff, and what a reaction from Wexford. Well, they've been pinned back in this second half, but to go behind, how deflating that would have been, especially late in the game, and to react maybe within, what, a couple of minutes? 2-2.
We had said that Alua hasn't had an impact in the second half. You just haven't fed him enough, and the one time McHale feeds him, it's a brilliant run from Alua, it really is. We're right behind it. He goes to Quinn like he's going to go to feed. Quinn bites and then he just peels off him. Great ball down the side, and an even better cross.
I have to say for Alua as well, would have been so easy when he got into the penalty area. He's their leading scorer this season, to just go for it himself, and you mightn't have blamed him for doing so, but again unselfish as he was in the first half. Dobbs the beneficiary, and Wexford on terms.
You said the front three was going to cause problems. Obviously Mikey Rowe's gone off. Transpiro has gone off, but these two have come alive for Wexford. And James Douglas-Taylor has done his part for Drogheda to put them ahead.
James Keddy, he played that Alua role really for the Shelburne side of 2000 in the Dalymount replay with Bowes for the Pat Fenlon winner. It was his ball in that ended with Fenlon finding the back of the net.
Scored a big goal for Drogheda as well in the Santa Cup semi-final up in Linfield. Remember, the only goal of the game to take us to the final, that was James Keddy too. So he has big moments in semi-finals, Des.
Outstanding playing career. And since he's come in, Samala in danger of his pocket picked there by Foley, but just had enough in his big frame to ensure Foley didn't make clear contact.
His relaxedness probably freaked us out, the fact that he wasn't running a little bit. You're thinking, come on, get to the ball before it bounces. Zamala, he was just real calm, knowing that Foley wasn't going to get around him. But they need to win more headers again. Force ball, force contact, second balls down from Boyle.
Two into this proper cup semi-final here, and all still on the line. Still the chance for the first division side to get to the Aviva. Now for Drogheda United to get there to face the side they beat recently, Derry City. Back in 05, as well as the man alongside me, it was Damien Lynch and Stephen Gray, Simon Webb, Shane Robinson, Bradley O'Brien, Keegan. Serious senior side that was.
He was only a kid, this.
Markey. Boyle goes barrelling into the back of him. Semi-final on a knife edge. Every decision a big one.
For the lack of quality we've had at the first 25 minutes, 30 minutes of the game, it's just come alive with goals.
Kane, big second half from him. Excellent goalkeeping from the teenager Conor Walsh. You can hear the shout from up here.
We spoke about that probably 15 minutes ago about the communication. Can the communication from the younger team just increase?
Oh, delightful touch from Corbally. The pace of Alua. Corbally's in again, and Dennison with the smothering save.
It's a great recovery tackle from Ahua to begin with. You see, he just comes around and Quinn just switches off a little bit, and that allows Corbally to burst onto it. I thought he'd done brilliantly well to take his first touch. Could he pull on it with his left foot just here? But then he goes at it again with his right foot just to nick it by Bulger. Big save from Dennison.
Well, who's your money on now? Time to hold your nerve. Come up with that ice cool moment in front of goal. In swinging corner, flicked on and just over. Ian O'Malley looks to the heavens.
It's a brilliant delivery, actually. Look how flat the delivery comes in. And he's thrown himself at it. Yeah, it's nearly heading it off the side because he's gone backwards into it. It's just gone over the bar. God, they haven't played out once. They've gone long every kick out. At times Wexford have played out, and at times they've mixed it up. But with Drogheda, they've just gone long. They haven't flexed their muscles as the Premier Division team to show you you're going to come to our place and we're going to play.
Free header for O'Malley. Dobbs turns and gets the legs pumping. Decision time for Webster. Back to his goalkeeper, and how cool a touch was that from Dennison. Just about over the head of Dobbs. Temple. Going into the air there. Looked to brush off the hand of Alua. Decision given.
Yeah, it was a big header from Temple. In fairness, he comes through. He's got an early shout, and he's up above him. And it goes into Alua. It nicks his hand. But again, go back to winning them. The volume has increased from the centre backs.
Foley's offside here. Well, for a side so young, they've shown some character here in the last few minutes, Wexford. to the last 5, plus whatever Damien McGrath will opt to add on. Walsh gets a real distance on that one. Header won by Brennan. Here's Boyle. Temple trying to find Curtis. Kane not settling for the throw-in. Saw Markey on the move. All the way through to Walsh though.
Goal is just probably taking the sting out of Drogheda a little bit as well. The backs are up, they were chasing the winner. James Douglas-Taylor thought he had done it. And Dobbs had other ideas, but it's taking the sting out of the crowd. It's taking the sting out of Drogheda a little bit as well.
Ahui. We've seen plenty of his throw in the second half. We haven't seen any from Cian O'Malley. Such has been the flow of the game. Right in front of the Wexford supporters. Ahui short to Heaney. And Ahui drops the shoulder. Drifts on the inside. Markey picking up the pieces. James Taylor and now Heaney. James Taylor, his target, takes it back to goal. Lovely shot. Big block from Issamala. Here is Curtis now. Wexford looking to break. Corbally to the danger man, Alua. Heaney and Ahui trying to get back to him. Alua. Well, he carried them all up the pitch, but out of play in the end.
Yeah, but you see the threat he causes. You see Heaney knows, I better get over here. And who is the same? It's a great touch from Foley. He just drops his shoulder and takes it on his back foot. Can he open his body and bend it into that front post area instead of trying to reverse it?
Markey. Oh, O'Malley has injured himself in trying to hook that one away. Problem here for Cian O'Malley.
It's a bit wild from O'Malley. I don't think he needs to swing on it. I think the ball is going to end up trickling back and he can go back to the goalkeeper where you see he runs beyond.
2 minutes of the 90. Still plenty of time for someone to be a cup semi-final hero. Ahui plays it in, and James Taylor. That was awkward for Temple. Having to try and judge it as to where it might end up, knowing James Taylor was somewhere behind him.
Awkward is the right word, yeah. He's trying to, he knows he doesn't want to get contact on it, so he wants to let it run across his body, but he doesn't know where James Taylor is.
Skimmed off the head of Bolger, and Webster's going to have to go here to prevent the corner, which he's managed to do. Issamala stepping in, that will break for Corbally. A rare loose touch though from Cian Corbally, and the pressure immediately on at the other end. James Taylor against Temple. Oh, and Foley had got himself into the penalty area on Mark. Boyle has lost it. James Taylor. And Boyle threw himself at it. O'Malley stepped out to throw himself at it. Someone got a touch, it's out for a corner.
It's just chaotic again. It's not even good play. It's just the ball down the line, and James Taylor manages to keep it in. Temple has to deal with it. This is what I'm talking about, experience. The ball goes over your head like that. Get to it as quick as you can and deal with it. But again, this side they conceded from. Outswingers. You can step up on your man.
Clock almost in the red. Dara Markey. High and hanging. Bolger met it. And Wexford had enough bodies in there to see it away to safety.
I think he heads it into McHale, actually. He just stands his ground, McHale, and Bulger he rises really well, and it just hits McHale.
At least 4 to be added. Ahui. Webster has stayed forward, and Ahui will have to go all the way across to take the throw in now. Dave Webster, fabulous story, came in at the start of the season on trial at the age of 34. Well, since he's come into the side, was only playing Leinster Senior Cup mostly at the start of the season. Since he's come into the starting 11 in July, there's been that big upturn in fortunes. This was the Bolger header. And you're right, it was McHale, I think, was it?
Kale, that's the one. I think Dobbs just jumps for the header, and as he's thinking, is the cramp coming? And eventually he goes to move his foot, and it is.
Concern as he's held back to his feet. He's not moving too fluidly or freely at all here, Aaron Dobbs. Ahui. Bolger gets the flick on, and Foley might well have won it. Super sub Adam Foley. The right place, the right time. It's funny how it works out. Would he have been on the pitch had Piero not sustained that injury? Well, he has made best use of his time on there, and then some. Adam Foley, a brace of goals. The second coming in added time, leaving Wexford with just 2 minutes to respond. Great finish again.
And that's the goal that looks like it's going to put Drogheda back into the FAI Cup final. He's down the middle of the goal. They don't get forced header on it. It's Bolger flicks it across, and it's Foley there again. He's put it into the same roof of the net that he put his first one.
Well, we've had a pitch invasion of sorts. Relief for Kevin Doherty. Dobbs is injured, and I'm not sure he'll be able to continue. But while we have this break in play, let's get your man of the match, Graham.
I think it has to be Adam Foley. He's come on, he scored 2 goals, and it looks like he's going to score the winner that puts Drogheda into the cup. Again, he don't get forced contact. Bolger flicks it on. It's a great flick on from Bolger. And then Foley's right in the middle of the goal. Clean contact again. It's the roof of the net. And this place has come alive.
Absolute chaos when that went in, with a mini pitch invasion from some of the youngsters down to our right-hand side. But Wexford, well, they're going to send everyone forward now for whatever remains here, and it's not a whole lot of time.
They've been excellent, Wexford. They've given everything. And we came into the game talking about Keane O'Malley's long throw, and it's them that come undone with a long throw and just don't defend it. That man going off, Dobbs, he's been excellent and led the line unbelievably well. Scored 2 unbelievable goals, but his aerial ability gets them up the pitch.
So Aaron Dobbs is off. Caleb Harnett, the young Ireland underage international, is on. And we've also got young James Crawford, son of under-21 manager. Walsh, Drogheda drop. And long it goes from Walsh. They need a winner here. Curtis up. It's rebounded off him. And Dennison, decisive goalkeeping. Well, their confirmation. Adam Foley, Graham's choice as the Sports Direct player of the match. What an impact off the bench. 2 superbly taken goals. It's what you dream of in a cup semi-final. The night before, likely knew he wasn't going to be starting, but when you come on, you make an impact. And that's what he's done. And who he's clearing header, headed forward by Temple. Launched by Livingston. Bolger, important at both ends. Look back in by Boyle. Harnett, and this will break for Crawford, who puts it back in the mix again. Alua looking to attack it. And that is a big and brave defensive header.
Webster.
Body on the line from Dave Webster. Kevin Doherty, a centre-half himself, would have appreciated that moment.
Yeah, you're a sitting duck as a centre-back. You know you're going to take a sore one. It's a big loopy one, and you plant yourself and head it, and you know it's going to come in and get one, but you have to do it. He won't feel as sore in the morning when he knows he has a cup final to look forward to.
Well, a game that can give you every manner of emotion, from the highest to the lowest. Both sides experiencing a little bit of everything today. All eyes on Damien McGrath now. Drogheda United almost there. Bolger sees it out. The amateur whistlers to be heard in full effect. Wexford hoping there's time enough for one final chance. Kane eating up all the time he'll be allowed to. Flick on from Foley. Away by Boyle, return by Heaney. Giving that as much as he can. Wexford throwing. Referees had another look at the watch. And O'Malley is going to send this as far as he can. Back to Walsh he goes. He can send it further. Need to win the header. Webster coming to meet it. Two huge headers, one by the experienced Dave Webster laid on. Ethan Boyle in towards Isamala, who's up playing centre forward now. Well, Foley had the chance maybe to hold it. Still time, but not anymore. Heartbreak for Wexford, who have given it their all here. They led, they fought back. I assume they thought they were on the way to an extra 30 minutes, but then Adam Foley, Drogheda United super sub, a season that's had more troughs than peaks for this side, is finishing now with real momentum. They're heading to a fourth FAI Cup final, a chance to add to that sole success of 19 years ago. What a big result this for a passionate footballing club in town. So they will renew rivalry to Derry at the Aviva in 5 weeks' time, and given that recent win here against Derry, they'll go there with confidence. The end of the line for Wexford, but what a cup us, and what a performance today. They'll look to the likely playoffs now, and whatever that might be. But it's Drogheda's day in a season that might yet for them have a fairy tale ending.
Yeah, again, where do you start? It's been in terms of the quality of the game, at times it wasn't great, but what a spectacle it's been. And both players have left everything on the pitch. You've seen that unbelievable goals, unbelievable drama in late equalisers. Can't catch me breath at times, Des, but it's been brilliant. And full credit to Wexford and James Keddy, because they came up here and matched them and went toe-to-toe with Drogheda. And they scored some good goals. Drogheda came back exactly, sucker punch, and then Foley pops up with the winner to put them into a cup final.
Oh, incredible stuff here. What a second half in particular these two sides have given us. But in the end, it is Drogheda United by the odd goal in 3. Adam Foley's stoppage time winner means they will line up with Derry City at the Aviva Stadium in 5 weeks' time. The final score on a dramatic day at Weavers Park: Drogheda United 2, Wexford FC 2.
And so we have confirmation of our Sports Direct FAI Cup final pairing for 2024. Derry City will take on Drogheda United Sunday, 10th of November at the Aviva Stadium. Player of the match at Weavers Park in Drogheda this afternoon was Adam Foley, and he's now about to talk with Damien O'Mara.
Adam, congratulations. You are the Sports Direct man of the match. Jess Cunningham is here from Sports Direct with your presentation. Congratulations. What was the word from Kevin coming in? Come in and change the game for us, no doubt.
Just get on and do what we've been doing. Every time we've been coming on the pitch the last few weeks and months, we've been making an impact. So the message is no different. I think we're a bit nervous towards the start. A bit shaky, you could see that. But yeah, go on, try settle things down, try use our experience, and try give the lads something, a lift that will now will get us back into it.
It's probably an uncharacteristic performance in terms of it took you an awful long time to settle. Maybe all the pressure was on Drogheda this afternoon. It
was, yeah. Very rarely are we favourites for games. We're used to the underdog tag. But look, these are moments. You have to step up. We know what's at stake. We've shown over the last few months how consistent we've been and how dogged we can be at times. We played different football. We've been nice and nice and calm on the ball. Some days we're direct, you know what I mean? So, and today we had to really grind it out because Wexford are a very difficult team, very physical.
To reflect on the goals, it needed to be clinical. It needed to be like pounce on the few opportunities that arose.
Yeah. Fairness to Andy Quinn, I'm used to him shanking the ball all the time in training, so I knew I had to be somewhere around the box. But yeah, look, to be fair, I talked to James just before the throw and said, "You're going to win this flick on." And I think he did. It was a blur after that. But yeah, it's just in the right areas at the right time.
Big couple of weeks in store.
Yeah, big couple of weeks. But look, we'll get in now. We're in again tomorrow. We match on Friday, so we prepare for Waterford then come tomorrow. So yeah, look, we can't rest on this too. We'll enjoy it.
Listen, I know you're keen to get back to the celebrations. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. There really were some wonderful scenes there at Weavers Park after Drogheda United's victory this afternoon as they reached the FAI Cup final for the first time since 2013. On that occasion, they were beaten 3-2 by Rovers. Their previous success came back in 2005. 2-0 winners over Cork City at the old Lansdowne Road. Well, Drogheda United are now going back to the Aviva Stadium, hoping for some winners' medals. But they'll have a tough task on their hands as they face Derry City over Bohemians on Friday night at Dalymount Park. But first of all, a word about Wexford, because they certainly contributed, even in that second half. I mean, they went behind, they went 2-1 down and still came back and fought for what would have been an historic appearance, but it's not to be for them this time.
Yeah, it's funny, if you had after James Kelly, he's going to score 2 goals, Aaron Dodd's got the 2 goals, but then you saw there in the second half, they weren't particularly good. They weren't as good in the first half, but they still created 2 very good chances. So overall, performance-wise, I don't think they could have got much better. It's just Drogheda used their experience, used their resilience, and used their form coming into this match to get over the line. And Adam Foley played a huge part in that.
He certainly did, and he mentioned during the interview, Alan, that they were a little bit nervy, to say the least, in the first half, and also made a point, which both of you guys were making during that game, that Drogheda United weren't really that used to going into games as favourites. Now, they'll be going into the final as underdogs, so maybe they'll be back where they would prefer to be in terms of the final.
Yeah, and that would suit them down to the ground, Peter, because that's exactly the way it is week in, week out in the Premier Division, hence why they're down near the bottom fighting for their lives. But they would have known that at the start of the season as well, and Kevin sets up in a lot of ways where even in home games, and that's why they're so difficult to beat, because the onus is on the other team who'll be the favourites coming to maybe take the game to them. They're happy to sit in, soak up pressure and hit teams on the counter-attack. Today they were the favourites and they were the ones, the onus was all on them, all the expectation. They had everything to lose. They had to come out and try and create chances, play some nice football, something that they're not really used to, Peter. Not saying they can't do it, but something that they're not used to week in, week out. And that's exactly why they got off to such a slow start. They got dragged into a dogfight. They were really poor, as we said, at half-time. To be fair, they showed a lot of character, came out in the second half. Foley, huge impact coming off the bench, and they got out of jail, they grounded out, Peter, and semi-finals are there to be won. No one will remember this performance in a few weeks. They'll be there on the big day, but by God, did they make heaven sweat.
They certainly did. And even though they defeated Derry City last week, they'll still have to up their performance significantly when they get to the big pitch at the Aviva.
Yeah, and then Peru obviously going off as well. He's a big loss for them. I mean, him and James Taylor up front, they basically destroyed Derry City last week. I was down at Weavers Park. They were very, very good on the counter-attack. Don't get me wrong, it'll be different. It's very difficult to go to Drogheda and get something, get a point or get a win. The Aviva, big pitch. A lot of their players have never been to the Aviva before. Derry won it 2 years ago convincingly against Shells. So again, they will be underdogs, but they'll have a free slap at it. They'll not go there too worried about Derry City after beating them 2-1 recently.
No, and there'll probably be plenty of references to that victory in the league, you know, because they'll have to draw on everything really, Alan, won't they, to give Derry City a good game on final day.
Yeah, absolutely. Derry City are fighting it out for the league title. We've seen even Friday night their quality go away to Dalymount. Derry City have beaten Pats, Shamrock Rovers, gone to Cork, gone to Dalymount. So they've done it the hard way. It hasn't been as hard for Drogheda, but no one will care come the big day. You have to beat the teams that are in front of you. So Derry City will be red hot favourites. Kevin will be under no illusions about that. As I said, that's the same most weeks for them when they're going into games. And they've performed really well. It's an achievement, Peter. When you, like, if we were to go through budgets and resources and all the other things, Drogheda are really kind of punching well above their weight. And Kevin has had a really difficult job in the last 2 or 3 years. He loses his best players every year. He's having to rebuild. He gets loan players in who do really well for him. So even though it's a difficult place to go, he maximises everything he can get out of the group of players that he has, and it's a hell of an achievement to get them to the FAI Cup final. It really is, and they're still in with a chance of staying up in the league as well, so it could turn out to be an unbelievable season for them.
I was just wondering about that, Gareth. I mean, will this be a fillip for them, the fact that they've now reached the FAI Cup final and they can, in the meantime, focus on getting out of that relegation playoff spot?
Yeah, well, both teams now will have a distraction, and both teams are one going for the league, one wants to probably try and catch both to get out of that playoff spot. But I mean, Drogheda, it's great to have that to look forward to, because it'll spur the players on. The players now have to perform every week to be in that squad, to be in that team that's going to go to the Viva. Nobody wants to not miss out in that
it's
team.
Momentum, isn't it, Gareth, really? And we spoke about their form coming into this game, hence why they were the favourites today. That's another win to clock up, adds to the momentum, the confidence. And if you flick that contrast at the Bows, who feel like their world is about to end after losing Friday night, and now Drogheda are hot on their tails as well, trying to catch them as well. So it's going to be some end to the season.
And then you've got forwards now. They've 3 forwards now, James Taylor, Pirro and now Foley coming on, and they've all scoring goals. So that's exactly what you want.
OK, well, we can go back now to Drogheda and get further reaction. And let's hear from another member of the Drogheda United staff. And we're going back to Damien O'Mara.
Ryan, probably not the vintage performance from this squad this year, but a cup final awaits, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously the main objective was to get to the final. We've been brilliant in the last couple of weeks. Wexford came and thrown the book at us and struggled to deal with it in the first half, but we knew he had resilience in the squad, characters to bring us out. The likes of Adam Foley coming off the bench, and full credit to him as well. Keeps himself right in the gym every day, and he's reaped his rewards tonight. He's brilliant for us.
There's a composure that has come into this squad in recent weeks with the run of form that you're on, and no doubt you were certain throughout the game that the opportunities would fall your way.
Yeah, I think you have to be confident. We've beat the best teams in the league, so just had to keep going. We knew our opportunities would come, and it was all about kind of taking them at the right times. And look, as I said, credit to Wexford. They thrown absolutely everything at us, and we didn't match their energy for the first 45, 50 minutes. And after that, it was a battle to the end, and lucky we came out on the other side of it.
4 massive league games still to come. Now the prospect of a cup final, maybe even a relegation playoff. But it's important to celebrate days like this, and the scenes here remind an awful lot of people of what this club means and what a day out in the Aviva is going to mean in a couple of weeks' time.
Absolutely. I've been to a final myself. You always think they'll come around every year, and they don't. So this is going to be my second one playing in over the course of my whole career. So you can't take anything for granted, I suppose. And look, we'll enjoy a night out tonight, and we'll refocus again for a league game on Friday.
And irrespective of the league positions, there'll be no fear of Derry, and you know from recent weeks that they're a side you can put it up to.
Absolutely. On a day, as I said, we beat Derry here last week, and well more than capable of putting it up to them. But as I said, look, it probably wasn't a great game to look at, and as I said, Wexford were brilliant, and full credit to them.
Let's get Blonde in New Jersey for the day out. Thanks so much for being with us. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Yeah, nice way to mark his 204th appearance in the Drogheda United shirt, Ryan Brennan there. And there's a bit of a dispute as to whether there's going to be a night out or not for Drogheda.
Well, I think you mentioned Adam Foley keeps himself right in the gym every day, and he's going training tomorrow. Ryan said he's going out into town. So work it out yourself, Peter.
I think they're entitled to a small celebration.
Yeah, and to be fair to Ryan, there's a future in punditry maybe from, because he summed it up perfectly, the game. Yeah. He said they didn't match the energy for the first 50, 60 minutes. They were really struggled the whole first half, really what we said at half time, and then they got embroiled in a dogfight which they didn't want, came out on the other side. So maybe after his night out we might give him some punditry tips.
He also added it wasn't a great watch.
He's 100% right on that. We've struggled through 90 minutes here.
But I'm just thinking, Ryan Brennan, I mean, he's one of the players, he did acquit himself quite well today, had a couple of chances himself. He'll be hugely important to them on Cup final.
Absolutely. And listen, Guy Deegan's in there, so there's good competition for that sitting midfielder, but he's been very good in there. Just marshalling it, not getting too carried away, pivoting bottom midfield. He's just putting out fires. Now, as he said, the whole team weren't good in the 45 minutes, and Wexford will be devastated because they came and played their game, and they're still a young team, so there was like almost quite mature. So a lot of those players will be able to take that experience and move on next year and push on with Wexford. But you're right, Ryan, he'll be looking forward to the second Cup final.
Yeah, he certainly will. But it was Adam Foley who got the player of the match, and deservedly so. Huge contribution this afternoon. Let's look back at the equalising goal, start of the second half.
Yeah, and they needed something. He spoke about Kevin speaking to him when he came on about giving them some sort of inspiration, and that's what he gave them, Peter. And he's involved in the build-up. Eventually comes out here, Conor Kane, who played quite well on the day as well. Conor Kane, probably the only one, flicks it into the back post. Not a great header from the centre half, and it's Andy Quinn actually coming in at the far post. And Adam Foley was slagging him for the contact that he made, Peter, on it here, that he's used to seeing him shank them, but it was a good shank because he's on the end of a Foley and he has to redirect that. It's a difficult chance, Peter, comes at him really quickly, but it's a really good contact he gets on it into the roof of the net, and that was the feeling that they're back to go for, and we were hoping that they'd go on and kick on from there, which they did, to be fair to them.
It's a striker's opportunistic goal. I mean, you see all the best strikers do that. They never switch off. He anticipated that come across, and the defenders didn't.
Yeah, and that gave them the confidence to go on, and Douglas James-Taylor then with their second.
Yeah, brilliant header. And it's actually a great free kick or corner as well by Markey here on the right-hand side. And it's funny, I thought he got off the ground, but he's just planted his 2 feet, and that generates the power to get it right across. There's a defender trying to get on the post there. You see him coming back now, but the header is that good, and it's that right in the top corner that he can't get near it. It's a great header.
Peter, this lad's impact since he's come in has been absolutely phenomenal. Like, there's a lot of focus on Piero's 10 league goals. He has 6 league goals since he's come in the summer. He scored a hat-trick in the game, the 1-9-0. He scored 2 in Athlone, and now he's after chipping in with another goal as well. So in terms of the form, and I suppose a catalyst for their good run of form that they've been on, he's been absolutely fantastic, that lad.
Yeah, he certainly has. We gave credit to Wexford already for hanging on in there, staying in the game, and they showed great resilience to get back to 2-2.
Yeah, absolutely, because for 20 minutes there in the second half, and you have to give Drogheda massive credit, and Kevin Doherty for his team talk at half-time, but you see now Wexford, when they get the balls, when they're transition, it's nice and patient. Out to the left-hand side, there's a great pass, the weight of the pass in behind. Aluka does well, it's a good cross, and it looks as if he hasn't done enough and he's missed it completely, but he's actually done well, because I think it's Webster in the middle. He actually gets a touch to it that brings it away from him, but and Dobbs just, I don't know how he's got it round, because it's behind him, but he's kind of got it with his left foot, and he's pulled it right round behind him and then flicked it into the net. So it's a great goal from Wexford's point of view.
It certainly is. And there were other key moments in that second half, and particularly when the game was at 2-2, Alan. And we're picking out this Luke Dennison save because it was a hugely important save from Drogheda United's point of view.
Absolutely, because they were on the ropes a little bit at this stage, Peter, once Wexford got back to 2-2, because they were in the ascendancy. Again, it's a lure down the left-hand side, but Corbally, centre midfield, just burst through, Peter. But Dennison comes out. He's only come in recently from Bohemians as well, and he's had a huge contribution since he's come in. But that was a big save. You want your keeper, obviously all the headlines and the focus will be on Foley and James-Taylor scoring the goals, but you want your keeper in semi-finals to step up in big moments as well when he's called into action, and he did in that instance there. A really good save.
I think the general feeling around here was that possibly extra time and penalties were on the cards. It very much looked that way, but then the late winner to make it 3-2.
Yeah, we were talking here, it looked as if Drogheda were going to get a half a chance, and it was that man Adam Foley as well, but again he's alive in the box. He knows the header's going to come, and the defender just hasn't got in front of him. Bad positioning, and again Foley, what's the height of the ball as well as it comes in? It's quite high, so to get your leg up there and to get it on target and not scoop it over the bar, he's done really well.
Yeah, young O'Malley's the centre half, Peter, and it was his header that went out to Andy Quinn as well. Probably didn't get enough distance on it from the first goal, and that one he's picking up, Foley, but it's just a reaction. You see there the joy on Kevin. As I said, I know Kevin quite well, Peter. He'll be absolutely over the moon, but he'll know they got out of jail today.
Well, we're going to find out right now if he is actually over the moon or just pleasantly surprised or pleased. Let's see now as we go back to Drogheda and hear from the United manager, Kevin Doherty. He's with Damien.
Kevin, congratulations. You talked before the game about how difficult Wexford would make this for you. Did you expect it to go down to the wire like that?
Yeah, I probably did. As I said to you, like even on maybe when I was doing other interviews, if the game could have went all the way, like it really could have. It's a semi-final of Cup, and a lot of people were talking about Wexford in the first division, and the lads haven't played in the semi-finals. Most of our lads haven't. It's a different occasion, and you find that balance between making sure everyone knows how important it is, but also it's another game because we've been on such a good run. As I said, our last game here, we beat Derry, like, but as I said before, Wexford were such a really good side, a lot of good players, and they did a job on us. First half, they were forced to every ball, I would say. They won more duels, they won the vast majority of second balls, and you can have all the tactics, everything in the world, but if you're losing duels like that, which I thought we just were too slow and took us a while to get going, and again, it's sometimes a type of game where people probably expecting us to, because that doesn't normally happen.
Yeah.
but we had to find a way. And in fairness, half time was fairly. I wasn't overly happy, obviously, but the lad responded, and we came out in the second half and we were excellent.
Your subs over the last couple of months have made such an impact in games, and Adam really sees the opportunity that was presented to him today, as you expect players to do.
Yeah, and look, obviously he came a bit earlier than France. I won't take credit for inspired substitution there, but Foles, look, I had a chat with Foles during the week. You just know that he's going to do something. He's been brilliant for me in my 3 years now, nearly as manager, and he doesn't give out. He plays right. He's played right back at times. He's played right wing back. He's centre forward, and then he goes and gets the goals. And Dougie's goal as well, because he's been excellent for us. So it's the other side. I think that probably the substitution, the other one with Luke Heaney coming on. I just felt we needed more energy in there. Just a couple of lads carrying maybe little knocks, but that's no fault of their own. But obviously it helped. But I thought, as I said, until we went 2-1 up, we were excellent. And then when we went 2-1 up, they get a really, really poor goal, like really poor. And look, we just have to get over it. But to come back then and go again shows a character. You can see them up there dancing. I'm glad I'm not up there because I'm not much of a dancer. But it's the character, and as it's an old cliche, no one cares about the performance in the semi-final. It's all about getting to the final.
How serious is the injury to France?
I don't know. He felt it. We said it was just tie, but he couldn't open up. Like, I mean, I'd say we might have saved him by taking him off. But it's definitely a hamstring tightness at least, but it's too early to say.
Just to finish, you've the prospect now of a cup final and potentially a relegation playoff within 5 or 6 days of each other. You've 4 big league games to come between now and then. It continues what's fast become a roller coaster of a season for you.
Yeah, it's been mad, but look, it's as much as I was probably nearly having a heart attack at times during the games, you do it 100 times over for that final whistle and you're into the cup final, or you get 3 points that might help us on the way to being in the division next year. So no, we'll Border's gone really boring, but we'll recover, we'll get ready, because we're in Waterford on Friday. It's going to be a really, really tough game, but at least look, they'll enjoy the next couple of hours.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Damien. Thank you.
Alan, your good friend Kevin there, he was about to tell us what the team talk was all about at half-time, but he thought the better of it. I wonder why.
Well, I suppose in the modern day, Peter, you can't throw teacups and plates, but I'm sure Kevin just brought that back for a few moments at half-time. But no, he's a very emotional man. He's a very good person, I have to say, to be honest with you, Peter. He is a good friend, and I'm delighted for him. I'm absolutely over the moon for him, because he puts his heart and soul into Drogheda. He was there as an assistant with Tim Clancy for a long time. Then he took the reins over himself. He's into his 3rd season. He's keeping them in the division against all odds. And now to see him, I suppose, lead a team to a cup final, which is our flagship day. Yeah. We absolutely love the FAI Cup, and to see him lead it out, I'm absolutely over the moon for him.
Yeah, it will be a very special day for Drogheda United, back in the FAI Cup final for the first time since 2013. Now we can hear from the Wexford manager, James Keddy. He's with Damien.
James, I know you talked down your prospects in the first half or before the game, but you must look at that as a missed opportunity.
Definitely, I'm very proud of the boys. They're very young, as I said, but we gave set plays away, and defensively we weren't good enough. Worked on them all week, and it's disappointing because we did enough to win the game. The game was there for the taking.
You must take massive positives, though, about how a young group of players and a group that hasn't spent that much time together came together and really should have left here with a victory, probably.
Definitely, as I say, as I said to them, sometimes you have to lose to learn how to win. That hurts inside the dressing room. It's difficult, but that's football, If you don't take your chances, it's a little bit of experience told in the end, and I think it was Adam Foley that got the winner. He came on and caused us problems, but it's difficult to take. But as I say, we have to get ourselves up for Kerry next week, and I wish Drogheda all the best in the final, to my former club. So it makes for a good final.
That performance didn't surprise you though today?
No, it definitely didn't. I said the only disappointing thing was for myself was we didn't have the courage in the second half to pass the ball a little bit better, and you have to under pressure. You have to be able to keep the ball under pressure, and we didn't do enough of that. Our passing was a little bit sloppy, and but listen, as I say, they're a young group. That's part of their learning, and they'll do well in the future.
A place in the playoffs still very much within your reach. The challenge now, one side, take from it what you can and just consolidate that place in the knockout stages?
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be hard to get them up because they're young boys, and get them up mentally Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and then we've got Kerry at home. But listen, that's my job, my staff's job, and we might end up playing Drogheda in a couple of weeks. You never know. That's the way football works out, and it's funny. Listen, good luck to Kevin and the boys. They work hard as well, and they've only done full time, so it's hard enough.
To finish, your players must take something from that about the prospect of the step up to Premier Division football, and the gap that exists, but also their capability to compete at that level.
Yeah, there is a lot of things you can take away, but mental strength is a big thing in football, and mentally to be able to see out games, and to be a little bit more compact when you're under a little bit of pressure, and being able to defend a little bit better, and just concentration levels, they have to be high, especially at this level.
Appreciate your time.
No problem, I appreciate that.
Yeah, James Kelly there. Again, a manager with a very honest appraisal of the game. And in fairness to Wexford, they did give it their best shot today, didn't they?
Absolutely. He can take a lot of credit for this. I mean, if you think back to the middle of the season, Wexford weren't going well, and Drogheda weren't going well either. Drogheda went out and signed 5 or 6 very good signings. Wexford don't have that budget. They don't have that luxury. So James Kelly had a look around the changing room, get more young players in and get more out of them. And that's exactly what he does. And I tell you what, it's a sign of a very good manager.
Yeah, and it'll benefit them too in terms of the final few league matches, won't it?
Yeah, I think it will. It'll stand to them. He mentioned it there that sometimes you have to lose to win, Peter, and they are young lads, and they gave a really good account of themselves at half time. They fully deserve to be in the lead. He mentioned there that maybe just in the second half when the pressure came on from Drogheda, that they just weren't brave enough to hold on to the ball or maybe just play a few passes. But I must say, Peter, we hear a lot of nonsense in interviews after matches.
We certainly do.
We've had Ryan Brennan, Kevin Doherty and James Keddy give really honest, fair, balanced assessments after the game and called it really well to treat him, so fair play to them.
All we need now is you to not be biased towards Kevin.
We have enough bias here with the Derry fanboy after Friday night.
We won't talk about Friday night, okay? Okay, so Drogheda United have woven a bit of cup magic at Weavers Park and can now look forward to the cup final at the Aviva on November 10th. Now, for Shamrock Rovers and Shelbourne, the tension is only mounting as very soon they'll be taking to the pitch here at Tallaght Stadium, where a win could set either of them on course for the league title. We'll see you for that in a few minutes.